Hello, church. I have the incredible blessing to speak about grandmothers today in this week-long series that we're focusing on mothers. And I, for one, have an amazing grandmother. She is the blessing to me. Her name is Linda. She lives in Hereford with my grandfather, Charles. They have been married for 59 or 60 years. I honestly can't remember. I know it's one of those two numbers. But I have been blessed by them, especially by my grandmother. I say that I've been blessed by them because our family is very, very small, especially compared to my wife's family that is very large. But our family being so small, it gave us time to really grow a close bond. It was really cool growing up because my grandparents only had 3 grandchildren. It was my sister Shelby, my cousin Tate, and myself. And this was very fun for us because my grandparents have a lot of love for the 3 of us, and eventually for our 4th, our other cousin Logan that came along later. They have a lot of love for us. And they show it in a lot of ways, and they pour it into us, and it's great, and it's amazing, and I love it. One of the biggest things that they did for us as kids, though, is they would take us on these annual no parents vacations. This stands out in my memory as some of my favorite moments with my cousin, with my sister, and with my grandparents. We made a lot of memories. They loved to travel with their travel trailer, and so they would invite us along. They'd give our parents a rest, which is probably duly needed, especially with me being their kid. But they would take us on these trips for a week or so. And we'd go to places in Colorado and New Mexico and sometimes in Texas. And we would go spend a week there, camping out, having fun and making memories. Some of these memories are whitewater rafting in Colorado. We'd see the Royal Gorge Bridge. We'd play the license plate game where you would try and list out as many license plates as you could see on the highway on your trip there and back. We'd play this game called Fast Track around the kitchen table in the travel trailer. Some of you guys call it Wahoo. I don't know what your family calls it, but we call it Fast Track. And these are memories that I'm very fond of. But one of the fondest is that if we were there on a Sunday, my grandmother would make sure that we'd either have communion there together as a family, or we would go find a church to participate in worship with. And this always stood out to me as something that was very important to my faith, because my grandparents made it a point that no matter where we were and what we were doing, our faith was still the most important thing we were doing when we were there. Still the most important thing to have while we were there. And that's still the tune to this day with my grandparents. Their faith is still one of the most important things that is a part of their life. When COVID started, it was very hard for us to get them to stay home for their health. And to stay home from church especially, because that for them is very important, much like it is for the rest of us. But that stands out in my mind as something that is just very faith building. And I know that they have been a very big part of my faith journey through the faith that they have, through the marriage that they have. In 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 5, it says, "I'm reminded of your sincere faith, a faith that dwelt first in your grandmother Lois and your mother Eunice, and now I'm sure dwells in you as well." I hope that if you knew my family, if you were able to look at my family and look at my faith, you'd be able to say, you have this faith because of your family, because of your grandmother, because of your mother, because my grandmother has a very sincere faith. My mother has a very sincere faith. And those two faiths have really helped form my faith. And that's very important to me. And I will remember that for the rest of my life. And I hope that one day when I have kids, that faith will pour over into them. Not only from my grandmother, from my mother, but from their mother, my wife, Lacey. And that's very important to me. And so today I want to encourage you, if your grandmother had a big part in your faith, thank her for it. If she's still here and you can call her today and thank her. Spend a few moments to encourage them in that way by thanking them. I, for one, am hopeful that I'm going to get a chance to call my grandmother today and thank her, because I love her very, very much, and I'm very thankful for her. So today I want to encourage you to do that. Go thank your grandmothers. Go thank your mothers for the faith that they have helped instill in you. And I hope that this message helps encourage you to do so. And I hope that you are able to find the good in the day. And I hope that you're able to find blessings today. But ultimately, I hope that you are blessed. Have a great day.